What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're returning for the final track in their playlist from the 1994 concert at Sentrum Scene in Oslo, and it's Scoundrel Days, a tune I've talked about in many reaction videos, so I won't spend too much time in the intro. I'll just say, as with a number of other tracks that they composed in the 80s, hearing it now in the mid-90s, knowing the flavor of this concert, more guitars, more of a blues rock type of sound on some of the tracks which originally had more of a synth keyboard type of dynamic, I do wonder if this will be not only more of the same in that regard, but if there'll be a particular section where they maybe add an interlude or Morton hits vocals in a different way than he does in the recorded track. So either way, it's one of my favorites. Admittedly, over time, hearing more and more Aha material, understanding their creative process more, re-listening to some albums, re-listening to tracks with headphones on, which of course I can't do in this setup, I have come to find that the designation of a pantheon, not just among songs, but even among albums in their catalog, gets more difficult because I come to appreciate some more than I did originally. In some cases, there's individual tunes that maybe didn't stand out when I was going through an album as much as the others, and then re-listening to them, it's like, wow, this is one that you shouldn't overlook. So even saying that, I will reiterate that Scoundrel Days is among not only their songs, but also the album Scoundrel Days. Those two remain among my favorites. They remain in my Aha pantheon. So yeah, it's a real classic. Keen to hear how it sounds here. Let's give it a listen. This is the final track in the playlist from Sentrum Scene in Oslo 1994, and it's Aha's Scoundrel Days. It does sound a bit more bootleggish, just like the previous one.
Was that somebody screaming? It wasn't me for sure. I lift my head up from an easy pillows, put my feet on the floor, and cut my wrists on a bad thumb. I head for the door. As the sound of pavements, the dark makes no noise. I can feel the sweat on my lips leaking into my mouth. I'm heading out for the steep hills, leaving me now, child. I see as I'm staring for me. Pictures of houses burned, never knowing nothing else to do. Death comes the morning, unannounced and you. Was it too much to ask for, to pull a little away? They forgive anything, these are Scoundrel Days. I'm close to calling out their names, as pride hits my face. Yeah, I see as the light staring on me. We believe. and touch my body everywhere. But I know that I've made it as I run into the and see as a lion staring
The guitar. Let the crowd. Oh, they cut it off. I like when at the end of live performances, and I get it, maybe that particular recording of that song, I mean, because it's more of a bootleg and it wasn't released, it's not something that was, edited or mastered or cut in a way that you might do for an actual live release CD. But I do enjoy on live albums when the final track, it lets the crowd really express how much they appreciated the concert, continue to cheer, and it doesn't just cut it off right away. So again, unfortunately we didn't quite get to hear that, and maybe, again, it sounds like they walked off stage relatively quickly, or at least, that's what my impression was at the end there. Nevertheless, I was thinking as that song was drawing to an end, not only did we get what I was thinking, a bit more of that bluesy guitar from Paul, Morton pushing it into an even higher and hotter delivery in a couple of the places and hitting that real fiery type of sound that he does, and indeed, as I've come to know, that he did a lot in some of their 90s performances. But also the synth bass and some of the keyboard elements were really standing out to me, and my thought was, it's all three of them. I know that's obvious, and people who follow the group, maybe they favor one person's contributions more than others, at least in some context. But really, the magic of a-ha is all three of them. Paul with his songwriting and the guitar, including taking it to a new level in some of the live performances. Morton in that angelic yet also very powerful voice, including taking it to another level. And Mags with his music writing and his sonic performance in these live settings, which, again, playing keyboards in a studio setting has to be a bit simpler than recreating it live in the moment. And, I've seen some other bands and live performances. I've heard Alan Wilder and some of the Depeche Mode documentaries I've gone through talk about how you kind of have to commit to memory what you're doing, and even if that becomes second nature at some point, it's still different than being able to sequence it and sit in a studio and just sort of, play with the measures and configurations and find what sounds good. You have to really just do it in the moment. So for a performance like that, and to reach a level in live performances that exceeds what the album tracks do, it really has to be all three of them bringing their skills and artistic sensibilities. So shout out to all three of them. I was going to say about Morton's vocals, it feels like in this performance he was going for emotion more than being perfectly melodically pristine, because there was a couple points where you can hear him a bit outside the lines melodically, but it's because he's singing with such passion and with such fire. So yeah, again, shout out to all of them. Shout out to Morton for the vocal work. I'm trying to compress that into one word. Shout out to Paul for those delicious bluesy guitar moments, and ultimately for the whole concert. And I do again appreciate that even if not all of these tracks were released, some of them I know were in the bonus material, some of them not, and even if this particular song's recording has a bit of that muffled, it's like someone recording it in the crowd rather than, a full mastered DAT tape that was done intentionally during the concert. I still love hearing the progression of the concert overall, the audience interacting, Mags during the interludes talking to the audience and just sort of, getting a sense of the rapport, even if I can't understand all the words he's saying when he's speaking in Norwegian. So, yeah, again, really cool concert. Shout out to all those who've enjoyed this live performance and doing these in tandem with the demos. It's something I've enjoyed too. I'm like, Luca has a couple times looked like she's considered coming over here. Now she just lied down again and she's trying to go to sleep. So I guess you're not going to get to see her this time. But in any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.